The Communist Party of India Marxist does not change much for India's left, and the Congress's feeble attempts at retrieving Sardar Patel's legacy yet again might not succeed. And finally, is Trump facing heat from some of his corporate backers on his tariff policy? We take a look at it through the prism of Musk Navarro's Spat. Join me this weekend only on Republic TV.
This weekend, the Positive Influencers show goes live. We're launching this Republic initiative to counter the negativity online with creators who inspire. From wellness to defense, law to finance, culture to the everyday stories across languages and regions of this amazing country, we are pooling them all together. Let's fill the digital space with positivity and purpose. And yes, applications are still open, so keep them coming. Join me this weekend for the show as we kick off the first episode. Let's start a digital revolution.
Hi there, welcome to your favorite deep dive show in which I get to use stories from the week gone by that are contemporary and consequential for India. This week, Tahawur Hussain Rana was brought back to India and the process of delivering justice to him has begun. It's going to be a long road and I can come back to it after the dust has settled on the most wanted fugitive of the 26/11 terror attacks. While the Trump tariff torpedo hit the global markets, a serious note of dissent happened right under his nose. His first buddy Elon Musk went public with his disagreements and even picked up a spat with Trump's tariff czar Peter Navarro. We look at the tariff war through the prism of that spat. Also, two important domestic stories. One, Communist Party of India Marxist, the CPM, and the Congress had their annual sessions this past week. The left in India punches way above its electoral weight. I used the opportunity to dissect the anatomy of why it does so. The Congress session in Gujarat happened for the first time after 61 years. Why it took the grand old party so long to visit Gujarat, the home state of Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Patel, and Narendra Modi. That's our focus. Two, Jammu and Kashmir has seen a dozen former separatist groups publicly dissociate themselves from their anti-India past over the last 1 month. Let's scan the development. Here we go. On Friday, one more separatist group came down from the high horse of anti-India rhetoric and denounced separatism in all forms. Jammu and Kashmir mass movement was part of the larger grouping of separatists in the Kashmir Valley, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference, APHC. JKMM became the 12th such group to do so. On Wednesday, two groups had similarly denounced their association with separatism and APHC while the Union Home Minister Amit Shah was in Srinagar for a security review meeting. 2 days before that, three other groups, the Jammu and Kashmir Islamic Political Party, Jammu and Kashmir Muslim Democratic League, and the Kashmir Freedom Front had done the same, releasing statements disconnecting from the APHC and reposing faith in the unity and integrity of Bharat. Last month, on March 27, the Tehreek-e-Istiqlal and Tehreek-e-Istiqamat also cut their umbilical links with the APHC. 2 days before that, on March 25, the Jammu and Kashmir People's Movement and the Jammu and Kashmir Democratic Political Movement had declared their exit from separatism. A fortnight before, on March 11, the MHA had banned Awami Action Committee led by Mirwaiz Umar Farooq and the Jammu and Kashmir Ittihadul Muslimin led by Shia cleric Masroor Abbas Ansari. While speaking on Jammu and Kashmir in the just concluded budget session of Parliament, Shah had said that since the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019, a total of 14 Hurraiyat groups have been banned.
हुर्रियत के सबसे सीरियस टाइप के 14 ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आज 14 के 14 बैन कर दी गए मान्यवर। हुर्रियत का अस्तित्व उस हुर्रियत के साथ एक जमाने में बातचीत करते थे, पाकिस्तान के बातचीत करने के लिए मीडिएटर बनाया था, आतंकवादी संगठनों से बातचीत करने के लिए। वो हुर्रियत को हमने समाप्त कर दिया, जमीन के अंदर गाड़ने।
If you read the developments taken together, there's a clear message. There are no favorites, and Delhi does not take prisoners anymore. Make no mistake, this is a big development. Let me put it up front, that this is in good measure due to the tough love policy of the Modi government. Let us admit that there would be an element of bulldozing, to put it mildly. This is part of a major offensive, a crackdown on all elements who thought they could diss India and live a normal life, enjoying the fruits and comforts of a fast developing nation. These are groups that held Kashmir's normalcy to ransom. They held the Indian state by the scruff of its neck till recently. The soft indulgence of New Delhi meant that Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani, the late chieftain of the APHC, could announce a Hartal calendar in advance and watch the fun from his window. This is an organization that thought of itself as a mediator between India and Pakistan for talks on Kashmir, till the Congress-ruled UPA was in power in New Delhi. Hurriyat had observer status in the Organization of Islamic Conference, the influential OIC that governs the position of affiliated 57 Muslim nations of the world. New Delhi-based diplomats would meet Hurriyat leaders in Srinagar, and Gilani gang would get annual invites to the Pakistan Day event at the embassy in Delhi. The coming of the Modi government changed all that. Post-abrogation of Article 370 in 2019, India is on the offensive. Global geopolitics has also turned benign. Kashmir does not matter to the United States or the European Union anymore. Pakistan is too feeble to make itself heard. Whatever diplomatic capital it musters is exhausted in negotiating IMF bailouts and loan restructuring with the Saudis and China. Hurriyat is no more relevant. Gilani is long dead. The second and third rung of leadership is in disarray. Anti-terror crackdown has plugged all sources of funding. The Kashmiri youth sees hope in peace and progress. Increasingly, with Pakistan's slide into a failed nation, the young in the valley see both hope and opportunity in India. The Modi government has worked on twin approaches of tough love and development. This month would see Baramulla getting connected with the rest of India via a train. Last week, I brought to you a deep dive on how Naxalism was on its deathbed in India. All the fronts that sought to represent separatism in Kashmir are breathing their last now. Make no mistake. This does not mean the hearts have been won. There might still be sentiment against India which has gone latent. But the Modi government has successfully wound up the ecosystem and the structures that provided oxygen for that sentiment to sustain and survive. It's over. And no one should fancy any revival of that oxygen for sure. Moving on. Two opposition parties had their annual brainstorming sessions this past week. The Communist Party of India Marxist, or the CPM, had its Congress in Madurai of Tamil Nadu, while the Congress had its AICC meet in Gujarat's Ahmedabad. I look at the opposition space through these two meetings and decode for you what it means for India's polity in the present. The communists first. The optics were catchy, wearing kafayas, identified with the Palestinian struggle against Israel, and even Hamas. The comrades sang, "From river to the sea, Palestine would be free." The slogan was the war cry of defenders of the Palestinian cause on American campuses all of last year, since Israel launched its purge of Hamas following the October 7, 2023 terror attack that killed over 1,000 Israelis. It means the obliteration of the state of Israel, and hence is against the foreign policy of India. But then I come to that in a bit. The CPM did some soul searching on why it was not clicking with the masses in India and came to some conclusions. It finds problem with the Hindu politics of the day, sees neo-fascism in the BJP-RSS combined, and thought it could be reinventing itself with more protests, more dharnas, more strikes, and more struggles. The political resolution concluded that the left had failed due to an alliance between Hindutva forces, the corporates, and the media. The comrades absolved themselves of all responsibility. Let me hold the mirror for them. The comrades had the session in Madurai, the culture capital of Tamil Nadu, known for its Meenakshi temple, which acts as the geographic and ritualistic center of the city. The city effectively rotates or revolves around this temple. The west tower of the temple, the Gopuram, forms the state emblem of the government of Tamil Nadu. The temple is not just a religious symbol. It is a living presence of the rich legacy of Tamil history and culture. Yet the comrades skipped it. Not a single picture I could locate of any of the communist leaders present for 3 days in Madurai visiting the temple. Now imagine, these rootless wonders want to represent the people of India. The newly elected General Secretary of the party, M.A. Baby, Mariam Alexander Baby, identifies himself as an atheist. He began as a God-fearing Catholic and was in fact the altar boy of his parish church of St. Elizabeth in Prakkulam, Kerala during his childhood. Now he genuflects at the altar of Lenin and Marx, the communist gods who form the backdrop of the stage. Again, not Thiruvalluvar, not Tamil Sangam literature. I couldn't spot APJ Abdul Kalam, another Tamil icon, as much as a national icon. Basically, no attempt at connecting with the masses. Prime Minister Modi was there in Tamil Nadu the same days. He appeared in a vesti. He spoke in Tamil, howsoever briefly. To become the voice of the people and to reflect their struggles, the Communist Party of India Marxists has decided to launch a nationwide general strike on May 20, following it up with power sector-specific protests on June 26. Remember, the peak of summer's power sector targeted. The objective, obviously, is to cripple normal life, though in practice, the comrades fail literally every time in the present era of politics. You might find it funny. The CPM also passed a resolution on protecting Cuba from the caprices of Americans. To match the sentiment, some comrades had Che Guevara on their mundus or lungis or vestis or sarongs, whatever you call that wraparound. The CPM came out of the parent CPI, the Communist Party of India, in 1964 following a rupture in the pro-Russia and the pro-China factions of the comrades. It was more like a CPSU, Communist Party of the Soviet Union, versus the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party divide, or Mao versus the Stalin divide. Look at the year 1964. What major event happened before that? The 1962 India-China war. There were hard left elements within the CPI who wanted to be soft on China. B.T. Ranade, for example, led that faction. With Soviet Russia firmly on India's side, Ranade was demoted by the Moscow faction of the CPI. This was not taken kindly to by the Beijing group. During the 1964 annual Congress of the party, like the one that has happened in Madurai this year, a group of delegates walked out and a couple of months later held their own convention in Tenali town of Andhra Pradesh. To mark their separateness from the CPI, they put up posters of Mao at the event. Once let loose, radicalism knows not when to stop. So it is that 1964 split led to the 1967 Naxalbari movement, with the leading lights of CPM Charu Majumdar and Kanu Sanyal tilting the scales in favor of violent extremism. Both apparently had a personal meeting with Chairman Mao before being trained in guerrilla warfare in the forested mountains of Tibet. Does that explain why the CPM remains little ambiguous, if nothing else, on CCP? Why, while it talks of Gaza and its leaders wear kafiyas, it remains silent on the Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang and looks the other way as China policed Taiwan? I leave it there. Moving to India's principal opposition party, the Indian National Congress led by the Gandhi-Nehru family. It held its first AICC session in Gujarat after a gap of 61 years. Gujarat, the home state of Mahatma Gandhi, of Sardar Patel, and of Narendra Modi. The CWC was held at the Sardar Patel Memorial and the AICC along the Sabarmati riverfront in Ahmedabad between the Sabarmati and the Kochrab ashrams, both set up by the Mahatma. This was projected as an attempt to reclaim both Gandhi and Patel. The sessions marked 100 years of Mahatma Gandhi's only presidency of the Congress in 1925 and 150th birth year of Sardar Patel, born as he was in 1875. The legacies of the two stalwarts have been increasingly claimed by the Modi-led BJP. The Modi government has Gandhi symbols adorning emblems of half a dozen of its schemes, from Swachh Bharat Mission to the Make in India and others. Prime Minister has got the Mahatma's statues installed in at least a dozen capitals around the world. He never fails to attend the October 2 and January 30 events of the national capital's official calendar. So far as Sardar Patel is concerned, Congress's hold over his legacy is even more tenuous. The Nehru overhang never made Patel's stature get its due in the Nehru-Gandhi Congress post the Indira takeover. And in the present, the Gandhi...
We're getting in breaking news right now. We have a confirmation that the central forces will be deployed in parts of Bengal. This is after there was a PIL filed by the BJP leadership. Shuvendu Adhikari also went to court asking for central paramilitary forces. CAPF will be deployed in parts of Bengal, in Murshidabad specifically, where there has been rampant violence reported. Earlier today, there were 2 lives lost in Murshidabad, and Shuvendu Adhikari and the BJP has been claiming that the state government in Bengal claimed that, and that the Mamata Banerjee government refused to listen to the opposition and had refused to deploy and ask for central military forces. Let's go straight to the pictures coming in. Pictures that came in from Murshidabad earlier this evening. And the High Court, which was hearing and gave the state government about half an hour's time to respond, the High Court has been hearing this on an urgent basis and has just decided that the central paramilitary forces will be deployed in Murshidabad as the situation gets out of hand. The so-called anti-Waqf Act protests have taken 2 lives in Bengal in the last few hours. And the Calcutta High Court has now given orders that deployment of central forces will happen in Murshidabad, which has seen most of the violence in the last few days. And in fact, we're getting in more pictures. You had Shuvendu Adhikari and Shukanta Majumdar both speak to Republic TV a short while back. Shuvendu Adhikari had moved the court, saying that the BJP's petition had been turned down by the state government when they had asked for central paramilitary forces to be deployed. And the High Court has now had to step in. Once again, the Calcutta High Court having to step in to ensure normalcy is restored in the state of West Bengal. Paramilitary forces will be deployed. Jagannath Sarkar of the BJP joining us on the phone line. Jagannath Sarkar ji, BJP के आपका जो delegation है, शुवेंदु अधिकारी leadership है, High Court गए थे. High Court has had to step in once again. Jagannath Sarkar.
हाँ, देखिए बंगाल का जो हाल है बहुत बुरा हाल है. अभी हिंदू पूरा बंगाली हिंदू समाज खतरा में है. वो जो हो रहा है बंगाल पुलिस पुतलिया का तरफ देख रहा है. क्यों? वो जो जल रहा है बंगाल हिंदू मर रहा है. हद तक हुआ वहाँ नेट टोटली बंद कर दिया, लेकिन कोई कदम नहीं उठाते ममता बनर्जी. वो बांग्लादेश बनाने के लिए तैयार है, पूरा हिंदू को हटा के खून करके, ऐसा माहौल है. लेकिन बीएसएफ है तब अभी मुर्शिदाबाद मालदा पूरा नॉर्थ बंगाल वो डिवाइडेड हो गया बंगाल से. तो ऐसा हाल बीएसएफ है तब भी थोड़ा हिंदू अब बचा है. ऐसा हाल है. अभी अभी वो 356 लगाना चाहिए सेंट्रल को, नहीं तो वो कानून किस लिए है? वो तो ऐसा बंगाल का हाल है. तो अब इसी तरफ कोई 356 नहीं लगे कहाँ, तो कानून का जरूरी तो नहीं है, ऐसा ही मालूम हो रहा है. कोर्ट के इसलिए दर्जा खटखटाना जरूरी है. वो सही कदम उठा दिया तो होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं तो बंगाल का आज हाल जो हुआ, विशेष करके मुर्शिदाबाद मालदा।
इतना बुरा हाल है जगन्नाथ सरकार जी, इतना बुरा हाल है मुर्शिदाबाद में। ये स्टेप, ये जो अभी कदम ली है हाईकोर्ट ने, जो ऑर्डर दिया है ममता बनर्जी सरकार ने, क्यों नहीं किया अपने आप?
वो देखिए, ममता तो हमेशा मुस्लिम लोगों के लिए है, जो बांग्लादेश बनाने के लिए है, जोंगिस्तान बनाने के, भारत के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करने के लिए तैयार है, जो बृहत्तर बांग्लादेश बनाने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं। वहाँ उनका मंशा है पीएम बनना, मोदी जी के लिए नहीं, पीएम।
जगन्नाथ सरकार जी एक मिनट, शुकंदा मजुमदार भी है हमारे साथ। जगन्नाथ सरकार जी एक मिनट, शुकंदा मजुमदार भी है हमारे साथ। शुकंदा मजुमदार जी, लास्ट टाइम I spoke to you a few minutes back, situation was bad in Murshidabad with 2 lives also being lost. High Court having to step in once again. High Court having to step in. High Court asking for central paramilitary forces to be deployed.
Yes, we welcome this verdict of the Honorable High Court and the special bench of the Kolkata High Court, and it was very much needed. And we welcome this judgment, and this shows the inability of the state government to maintain the law and order in that region. And Mamata Banerjee and her government was provoking the riot, and her minister himself, Siddiqullah Chaudhary, used such kind of derogative words, provoking words in the heart of the Kolkata, and no steps has been taken against him. So this is the situation of West Bengal, and we welcome this verdict. This intervention of the Kolkata High Court was very much needed. In this occasion, I would like to thank also the Honorable Home Minister of this country, because long before this judgment, the Honorable Home Minister deployed so many companies of BSF there. That's why Hindus are till now the Hindus are in in little bit better condition. Otherwise, it could have been much more devastating. So we welcome at a large, we welcome this verdict of the Kolkata High Court, and it is a slap on the chin of the state government once again, and it shows the failure of the state government to maintain the law and order. And I believe this verdict will also in future may go in the direction to implement the 355 or 356 in the state of West Bengal.
अभी जो reports आ रही है मुर्शिदाबाद से, we are hearing that the violence has only escalated in the last few hours. The situation has gone from bad to worse. Some reports saying that 2 people have been killed. Some reports saying that number could go up to 3 or 4. We don't have an official word, but we've seen pictures of looting, violence, vandalism. Why did the state government not step in earlier?
Rampant looting is going on, and everywhere. If you just check the past incidents also, state government, after this kind of any kind of this incident which is related to the Muslim, the state government allowed Muslim to loot the Hindu mandirs, Hindu areas, Hindu temples and the Hindu houses. So this is the tradition in the state of West Bengal under the rule of Mamata Banerjee.
What is your next step? Do you think this is enough? Do you think there is more intervention needed? Because BJP leadership in Bengal, we were told, were also in touch with central leaders. Why hasn't the center intervened in this yet?
Central leadership, I mean, Honorable Home Minister is, taking feedback every day from the leadership of West Bengal, and we are thankful to him. We are really thankful to the Honorable HM sir, and I believe that the steps, those will be taken very soon, which is needed to restore the law and order in this situation in the state of West Bengal.
Shukandaji, thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Breaking news story here on Republic TV. The Calcutta High Court has had to intervene in what has been an urgent hearing following a petition that was filed by Shukanta Majumdar. Petition was filed, it was a PIL, public interest litigation, that was filed in the Calcutta High Court by Shukanta Majumdar, by Shuvendu Adhikari, and the Calcutta High Court agreed to an urgent hearing. And seeing the situation in Murshidabad, Bengal, they've had to step in, asking for paramilitary forces to be deployed across Murshidabad. I have Mayuk, my colleague, also joining us from the Bangla newsroom. I also have Priyanka Tibrewal. I'm taking the first question, Mayuk, and then you can also join in. Priyanka, situation we are hearing is very, very tense in Murshidabad. It's gone out of hand. We've seen pictures of looting. We've seen pictures of attacks. And we've heard of allegations of targeted attacks, though we can't confirm that independently.
It's extremely sad. You know, the situation is so ferocious here. People are like, Hindus are running to save their lives. And see, this is happening at the inquest of this chief minister, where she has instigated people, she has provoked people, one particular community, you know, to attack the others. I say the protest of Waqf is not just for West Bengal. Other places also people are protesting. But from no other state do we hear this kind of vandalism and violence which is prevailing. Other states like Assam, they have a Muslim minority, which is more than around 40%. But we don't hear any incidents from there. We don't hear any incidents from Uttar Pradesh. So which means that it is a complete failure of the